You reach the end of a long day of working, studying, and solving problems, and you feel completely exhausted. Yet you barely moved. You didn't run a marathon, you didn't lift heavy weights, you simply sat still and thought. To understand why thinking makes you so tired, we have to look at the physical organ itself. Your brain accounts for roughly 2% of your total body weight, but while you are awake, that tiny fraction of mass draws in roughly 20% of your body's total energy to maintain billions of signals across your neural network. Mental fatigue is a highly measurable physical depletion of your body's energy. It is not an imaginary feeling in your head. We might assume that all this energy goes towards solving difficult math problems or learning complex skills. But that enormous power draw is happening even when you aren't doing those things. Every single brain cell relies on a tiny molecule to survive, glucose. It acts as the core fuel that keeps the entire biological system running. Muscles store energy, but the brain needs a constant glucose supply flowing directly from your bloodstream. This continuous fuel is spent keeping you alive, controlling your heartbeat, adjusting breathing, and maintaining temperature. This complex system never rests, running at high capacity even during deep sleep. Because the brain has no backup storage, any disruption to the fuel pipeline, like skipping meals or becoming dehydrated, causes an immediate performance drop, leaving you sluggish and distracted. Before you answer a single email or make a single conscious choice, a massive portion of your daily energy budget is already spent. On top of that demanding biological baseline, modern life piles on heavy conscious effort. We stack messages, deadlines, background noise, and stress onto a system that is already working near full capacity. We try to handle this by multitasking. But the human brain does not process multiple complex tasks at the exact same time. What we are actually doing is rapid task switching. We force our attention to completely stop, reset, and shift focus over and over again. Imagine driving across a city, stopping at every red light and rapidly changing direction. You'll eventually arrive, but you waste an enormous amount of fuel. Our digital habits create the exact same friction. Checking a phone, viewing a notification, or dealing with an interruption forces a complete attention reset. Every reset requires a measurable burst of physical energy. This chart shows how those resets compound throughout a normal day into what scientists call decision overload. Choosing what to wear, deciding what to eat, or figuring out which email to answer first. These hundreds of micro-choices aggressively burn through your remaining fuel. Chronic stress accelerates this burn rate. When the brain senses pressure, it stays on high alert, redirecting vital energy to manage constant worry instead of focusing on the task before you. You reach the end of the day feeling exhausted because thousands of tiny cognitive resets and micro-decisions have completely drained your remaining physical energy reserves. Waking up feeling mentally worn out after several demanding days is not a sign that your brain is failing you. It is a highly efficient organ signaling that it has been working continuously and needs an opportunity to rebuild its reserves. This recovery begins with sleep is not a passive state where the brain switches off. It is an active period dedicated to organizing memories, supporting learning, and carrying out critical biological maintenance. This line graph shows the difference in how the brain receives fuel based on your diet. Sugary snacks create rapid, jagged spikes, followed by deep crashes. A balanced diet provides a stable, slow-release supply of glucose, matching the brain's need for continuous, even energy. Physical movement supports this delivery system. Regular exercise increases blood flow throughout the body, pushing higher volumes of oxygen and essential nutrients directly into the neural network. Proper sleep, adequate hydration, and balanced nutrition are the physical baseline. They are the non-negotiable biological conditions required to keep the engine running. But supplying the energy is only half the equation. To avoid daily exhaustion, we have to stop burning fuel on unnecessary cognitive friction. Highly productive people combat decision overload by simplifying their routine choices. By planning ahead and building rigid daily routines, they allow the brain to bypass active decision-making for minor tasks. This preserves their limited energy reserves for complex problem-solving. We can lower the task-switching tax by intentionally eliminating the constant stream of digital notifications and sudden interruptions. Fewer distractions mean a cleaner path for our attention to follow.
Stepping away from a screen for a few minutes, taking a short walk, or simply resting your eyes allows your attention to briefly reset and recover during demanding work. Every thought, memory, and decision you make is powered by the hardest working organ in your body. By fiercely protecting your attention, you give your brain the precise conditions it needs to perform without leaving you completely depleted.